The Assign RFID tag screen is where you'll go to program all of your tags well before race day. And in this example, you can see that I don't have any athletes in this race, and you can do this before you have any races in the system. So what you would typically do is order a stack of bibs from Road ID or Rainbow Racing or wherever you like to order bibs from. And when you get your bibs in, assuming you've got some tags, you will simply program the tags so that they return the bib number that they're going to be on. And so in this example, I've got a bib here, and it's actually bib number 341, but it looks like I've got some old tags that after timing the race, I had the athletes throw their tags in a big bucket. The tags that we recommend, the ones that we sell, are all-weather reusable tags. When we ask the participants to return them, we get 98, 99% of them back, if not 100% most of the time. But we get the vast majority of them back. So we like to use these, and we simply take them from our bucket, use the safety pin, reattach them to the next set of bibs, and we reprogram them like we're going to do here. So the bib I've actually got is 341, so all I got to do is type in 341, and then really just hit the enter key. And so what that does is that will program, in this case, it programmed just one of the bibs, one of the tags on the bib. So I'm going to hit the enter key again and program the other one. So when you hit the enter key, what it does is it takes the very first item in the list that has a red X next to it, and it says, okay, program it to that one, to the bib number I want. And so if you had multiple tags, let's say I've got a couple here. And so now let's say I want to program the bottom one, this 111. So I just click on that one. So you can use your mouse and click on the red X, or you hit the enter key and it programs the first one in the list with the red X. And so that is how that works. You can also have the systems where auto increments the number after it programs. And so let's go ahead and change this. I'm going to change this just as number 1. And so let's say I'm going to take this tag, and after it programs it, I want to go to number 2. That way, the idea is that you can, of course, grab a bib, present it, hit the enter key, grab the next bib, enter key, back and forth. You can go pretty quick. So and I have a couple of tags here it's picking up. They're close. So let's see if I can program. So you can present a tag, hit the enter key, go kind of quick like that. So that's how you can program tags. The feature here that says auto increment after X number of routes, those little dots that show up under the text box. Let me grab another set of tags here. So if I were to take some tags, and let's say that after 2 routes, I want to auto increment the number. So this works fine if you've got tags that are left on the default EPC, or maybe tags that are on the bib that are not already the same number. But what happens, you'll see that as I program it, as I hit the program option and it programs one of the tags, and a dot appears. That basically tells you you've got one more program before it auto increments to the next number. So after I hit enter key again, there was number 2. I said auto increment after 2, so I bumped it up. So that's what that little dots represent, and that's how to use this auto increment feature. I've found that because a lot of times I'm reprogramming tags I've already been programmed, and sometimes they are the same number. Like for example, right now I've got 2 tags that are both programmed to number 8. So what you see, you only see one in the list because the reader in the software can't tell that that's, you could have 100 tags around it that are all programmed to the same EPC. And because the reader's picking up, even if you had just one tag, it's picking up the tag hundreds of times a second, it can't tell the difference between 1 or 100. And so you only see one in the list, the unique items in the list. And sometimes when you program the tag and you hit the enter key, like this case right here, it just did both tags at the same time. And so sometimes the auto increment feature doesn't work well if you're doing more than one, but it's just one of those things, just whatever you find is most convenient. So the next option here is the assign this tag to a specific race. And so you would use this option. You'll see that this race that I've created is race number 158 in the system. That is the default, the database ID. Currently that cannot be changed. That's just the ID that's returned. When a race is created, it auto increments by 1. And so the way this works is if you had a race where you were going to time, a good example, I guess, would be an indoor and an outdoor meet where you've got maybe the women's 3K and the men's 3K, and then after that the men's 5K and then women's 5K, and you might have multiple heats of each event. Maybe you're also doing the mile. And so let's say you've got multiple races, multiple things during a time, and let's say in this example that in every race the hip numbers they're going to wear, or the bib numbers they're going to wear, maybe 1 through 25 in the men's 5K, and then maybe in the women's 5K they go also from 1 through 25. So you got people wearing the same bib number, or you have people that could be warming up or cooling down around your equipment that have their tags on but are not in any of the races you're currently focusing or currently timing. So in those cases, you might say, I want those tags ignored. Another example might be a cross-country race where you're timing maybe the varsity boys, and then maybe while you're timing that race, you could have the junior varsity boys or the JV girls or varsity girls that are standing around your finish line, either about to run or already ran, and they've got their tags on. And so if you have examples where people will be around your finish line and you do want those tags ignored for sure, then you want to use it. Now, I would not use this feature in a case where you've got like a 5K and a 10K, and maybe one race simply starts after another one. In those cases, I would leave it to where you don't program tags to be race specific. And the reason why is because if you have someone that wants to drop down from one race to another, people usually don't go up; they usually drop down. And so, in that case, you simply, if the tags aren't race specific, you simply swap the race in the system. You'll see an option up here in the top left of the screen where you can open their record, swap the race, and hit save. They use the same bib number; they're ready to go. Whereas if you did use this option to make the tags race specific and they want to swap events, well, then you've got to give them a new set of tags because you're changing the race, but the tags still are dedicated for the other race. And so whenever I program the tags, you'll see that the first few digits of the tag, what's being returned to the reader, is the race ID. So it says this tag is only good for this race. So let's see what happens when we have tags. I've got one here that is programmed to bib number 9. Let me make another one for bib number 10. And I'm going to say this is not race specific. And let me hide this other one. All right, so I've got a number 10 that is not, and number 9 that is race specific. So let's add a number 9 athlete. I'm going to pull myself in here. And let's add a number 10 athlete. And I'll just put my wife in there. All right, so in this example, let's go time race. And it looks like I started this clock earlier. Let me F2 reset the race. And then let me start the clock. And let me hide the tags. All right, I'm going to start listening. And so let me go ahead and bump it up to make it look more realistic. All right, so here I come. The reader is going, shows connected. Here comes a tag. And then, of course, number 10, which is not race specific, works. And number 9, which is specific to this race, work. So let's try these same tags in another race. I'm not sure if this is... Okay, it's already got me in it. So let's go ahead and do time race. And let me reset that one. All right, so let's start it. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Save. And let's start listening. So right now, you see the activity indicator flashing, which tells me, hey, I do see a tag, and it's going crazy. I'm holding it right next to the reader, but it's being ignored because it's programmed to that other race. And so as soon as I present this, which I don't think I have a bib number 10 in there, so it'll probably show unassigned, but so there you go. So bib number 10 works for any race, and bib number 9 was ignored. Let me go ahead and change myself to bib number 10, and then hit refresh, and there I am. So that is how the system works. So again, you can program all of your tags well before race day, and whenever you get hired to time a race, simply grab a stack of bibs, and then when you import or add athletes, just assign those athletes to the numbers you're going to use and head off and time the race. So anyways, well, good luck, and that's how to use that feature.